When people outside of Georgia think of Atlanta, they usually think of two things: Southern charm and terrible traffic. And while both exist, they are also wildly misunderstood. The perception that Metro Atlanta, a region now home to more than 6 million people, is often 10 to 15 years behind reality. People are reacting to the Atlanta they heard about, not the one that actually exists today. And as a local expert, I can tell you these misconceptions can derail relocation decisions, create unrealistic expectations, and set you up for a rude awakening once you arrive. Hi, I'm Gail Hutcherson, your trusted Metro Atlanta Realtor for every move. Today, I am breaking down the 5 biggest things people get wrong about Metro Atlanta. And by the end, you'll have a clearer understanding of what life really looks like here, especially on the east side in places like Conyers, Covington, and Stonecrest. But before we jump in, here's a quick note for anyone relocating. When you hear locals say the perimeter, we're talking about Interstate 285. It's the large loop highway that circles central Atlanta. Anything inside that loop is called ITP, inside the perimeter, which includes areas like Midtown, Buckhead, and Sandy Springs. Anything outside the loop, where most suburbs are, is known as OTP, outside the perimeter. So when we talk about commuting into the perimeter, that simply means heading into Atlanta's core job, business, and entertainment districts. All right, let's jump into myth number 1. Myth number 1, Atlanta is primarily a southern city. This is the number 1 misconception. The idea that Atlanta is simply the deep south, full of sweet tea, peaches, and a slow southern lifestyle. The reality, Atlanta is one of the most transient, diverse, and international metro areas in America. Thanks to Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, the busiest airport in the world, and major employers like CDC, Emory, Coca-Cola, Delta, Home Depot, and dozens of Fortune 500 companies, Atlanta attracts people from every corner of the globe. We're also a major center for global logistics, bioscience and healthcare, cybersecurity, film and television, and international commerce. We host more than 70 consular and trade offices, and this multicultural influence shows up everywhere: food, art, communities, festivals, and even the neighborhoods themselves. And that diversity extends far beyond downtown, right into East Metro communities like Conyers, where newcomers from New York, Chicago, California, Africa, and the Caribbean blend small town warmth with big city access. Atlanta's food scene alone is world class, from Korean barbecue on Buford Highway to African and Caribbean cuisine right here in Rockdale County. Yes, we have Southern hospitality, but today's Atlanta is modern, global, dynamic, and constantly evolving. If you come expecting only Southern culture, you'll miss what truly defines Metro Atlanta in 2025. Myth number 2, Atlanta is dirt cheap. Let's clear this one up quickly. There's a myth that Atlanta is some sort of budget paradise where you can buy a mansion for the price of a studio in New York. The reality, Atlanta is affordable only in comparison to the most expensive coastal cities, but it is absolutely not cheap anymore. Yes, we generally have lower taxes and lower daily living costs, but home prices have risen dramatically. High demand areas like Johns Creek, Alpharetta, East Cobb, and parts of Sandy Springs have seen significant appreciation and competition. And even East Metro areas, Conyers, Stonecrest, Covington, have experienced steady growth as more buyers discover the value, space, and convenient I-20 access the East Side offers. Conyers especially has become a relocation favorite because of easy access to Atlanta, larger homes and lots, lower price per square foot, and a strong community feel. So, yes, you may get more home for your money, but that cheap Atlanta people talk about has been long gone. If you're buying here, you need a well-planned strategy, not assumptions. Myth number 3, Atlanta traffic is the worst in the nation. Let's address the big one. Atlanta traffic is bad, no question, but it's not exactly what people think. The reality, Atlanta is not the worst in the U.S., but it often feels like it is because of one major factor: sprawl. Metro Atlanta is huge. People routinely commute 30, 40, even 50 miles from suburbs like Conyers, McDonough, Loganville, Alpharetta, and Cumming into the central Atlanta core inside the perimeter. Since we don't have mountains or coastlines to contain growth, the metro spread outward for decades. That means huge numbers of people living outside the perimeter, OTP, and driving into centers inside the perimeter, ITP, every day. So the problem isn't just how many cars are on the road, it's how far everyone is driving. To help manage this, many East Metro residents are now choosing jobs closer to home, especially as Rockdale and Newton counties continue attracting new employers. The bottom line, traffic isn't just congestion, it's distance. Myth number 4, MARTA, public transit is useless. Another major misconception, especially from people moving here from New York, Chicago, DC, or cities with large transit systems, is that MARTA doesn't do anything or doesn't go anywhere. Let me explain what MARTA actually is. MARTA stands for Metropolitan Atlanta Rapid Transit Authority, and it's Atlanta's combination of rail and bus service. It's not like New York's subway or DC's metro. It's smaller, but where it operates, it works extremely well. The reality, MARTA is not useless. It's simply geographically limited, and that's the key piece most people misunderstand. Okay, here's how it works. Where MARTA rail actually runs, MARTA rail lines primarily serve inside the perimeter and that central Atlanta zone inside I-285, including downtown Atlanta, Midtown, Buckhead, Lenox, Perimeter Center, Sandy Springs, North Spring Station, Decatur, and Eastlake, West End, and College Park. And of course, the airport. These are some of the most important job centers in the region. Where MARTA buses operate, the bus network covers Fulton, DeKalb, and Clayton counties, providing additional connections to rail stations and major employment areas. The airport connection, this one surprises a lot of people. Atlanta has one of the best public transit airport connections in the entire United States. You can literally hop on MARTA and ride straight into Hartsfield-Jackson's terminal. No traffic, no parking, no shuttles, fast, affordable, simple. Where MARTA doesn't run, MARTA does not extend into most outer perimeter suburbs, including Conyers, Covington, McDonough, Woodstock, Loganville, Kennesaw, or most of Gwinnett County. This is why many newcomers think MARTA is bad. But the issue is coverage, not quality. But here's the good news for East Metro residents and even some in other areas. Even though MARTA Rail doesn't reach Conyers or Covington yet, there are transportation options like park and ride lots, express commuter buses, access to I-20 express lanes and HOV lanes, ongoing planning discussions about East Metro Transit extensions. People who live in East Metro areas still use MARTA. They just drive to a connecting station inside the perimeter or use a park and ride. The bottom line, MARTA isn't useless. It's a valuable transit system that does what it's designed to do. It serves the core of the city incredibly well. It's clean, efficient, air-conditioned, and reliable. It's just not a full regional system yet. Myth number 5, Atlanta is one big city. This one trips up almost everyone moving here. People say, I'm moving to Atlanta, but what they really mean is they're moving to one of the dozens of cities and suburbs that make up the metro area. The city of Atlanta itself has around 520,000 residents, but the metro area, over 6 million. And the differences between communities are huge. When someone says they live in Atlanta, they could mean Midtown or Buckhead inside the perimeter, Marietta, Alpharetta, McDonough, or Conyers outside the perimeter. Each area offers its own lifestyle, personality, architecture, pace, and vibe. And here in Conyers, you get beautiful neighborhoods, green space, historic old town, walkability, and a strong sense of community, all within a quick I-20 drive into Atlanta. Georgia isn't just one flavor, and neither is Metro Atlanta. So in conclusion, once you move past these 5 myths, you'll see the real Metro Atlanta, a region that is global, not just Southern, relatively affordable, but not cheap, challenged by sprawl, not just traffic, supported by MARTA where it runs, and made up of a mega region of unique, thriving communities, Conyers included. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Gail Hutcherson, your trusted Metro Atlanta Realtor for every move, and I'd love to help you explore whether Conyers or another metro community is the right place to call home. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a like, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss more of my Metro Atlanta insights and community tours. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye.